Peace be with you all. Good morning, everyone, or good evening, depending upon where you are in the world. We have some folks down in Australia, way on the other side of Earth. A lot of people in North America today. Good morning, everyone. Good evening to you too. I have a poem today from Kabir. I'll talk a little bit about it after. Here's the poem. It makes me laugh to think that a fish in the water thirsts for a drink. It makes me laugh to think a musk-deer is seeking the very fragrance which emanates from her. From forest to forest she sadly roams in search of a jewel lying at home, without knowledge of the self. What use, O pilgrim, at Calcutta or Tibet, to go looking for him, if you cannot find where your soul is hidden? For you, the world will never be real. A fish. It makes me laugh to think a fish thirsts. So I did a little research. Do fish drink water? Yes and no, depends upon the fish. Freshwater fish have a high concentration of salt in their bodies, so the water permeates primarily through their skin into their bodies because water always moves towards that which is saltier. So the freshwater fish immersed in the water, they're always drinking. And the saltwater fish, well, they're also immersed in the water and they're also always drinking. They're swallowing the water, and they have a reverse situation because the concentration of salt on the outside of their bodies is larger. They have to process the salt water that's coming through their bodies, through their kidneys, and then it gets expelled out through their gills. So Kabir was asking the question, do fish drink? It made him laugh to think that fish would be thirsty. Fish are never thirsty. And now he probably didn't know that science because this was a long time ago when he wrote this poem. But the thing is, fish are never thirsty. They're always immersed in the water, and their body is always saturated with liquid. The same is true for us. The fish, they don't have to go looking for water everywhere. They're in the middle of it. And we so often go looking for the divine everywhere. We look in Calcutta, we look in Tibet, we look in Sydney, Australia, we look in Istanbul, we look in Jerusalem, we travel the world, or we look in books, or we go from teacher to teacher, and we're always seeking that which we already carry with us, like the musk-deer. The fragrance of the soul is always with us. We are always immersed in the ocean of the divine. If you're thirsty for the holy and you're seeking all over the place for it, then you're looking in the wrong spots. All you need to do is be where you are. If you can't find where your soul is hidden, then the world will never be real for you. There'll always be a lostness. Your soul is hidden right inside you. And the word real at the end of this poem, the last word, I gave it a capital R, because when one recognizes the reality of the divine inside oneself, when one finds that which one seeks is already present in oneself, then the world begins to become heaven here now. And that's what meditation, centering prayer, and heart aimed at the divine always does for us. It brings heaven here now. Heaven begins here, right inside us. It's always right there inside us. We don't need to go looking anywhere else for it. We just need to be still and to listen and to self-empty and stop seeking everywhere. The mind that seeks everywhere outside oneself, that's the egoic self. And yes, it's very interested in spirituality. And yes, having knowledge of books is really helpful because it puts good thoughts into your head. It puts helpful, holy thoughts, higher thoughts of the divine into your head. But that's also outside yourself. The only place the divine is actually truly found is where it always resides. Where is your soul? It's right here all the time. And it has been for your whole life. It's hiding right in plain sight. How do we access this? We still ourselves and our practice, the practice of meditation. Meditation practices breath and mental focus, always, in every culture, in every form. Whatever form that you happen to practice, don't seek those things outside yourself. Seek that which you actually already are. You already are the divine inside you. It's not your higher self. That is yourself. You're not seeking the higher self. You're seeking who you actually already are right now. So where is your soul? It's always here, always now, always present, just like heaven. Our practice is very simple, at least the one I do, or the one I start with. Feet flat on the floor. I use my prayer chant. I read my prayer chant on my breath. I focus my mind. I quiet my thoughts. But I do lots of other stuff inside of me. I aim at my chakras. I connect my chakras. I work on this one and this one, or this one and this one. I begin my breath into here, and then I push my breath into there. I push my mind into here, and I push my mind into there. I connect all of my chakras. I run the stream down my back. I run a channel from my third eye down to my second chakra, or from my root chakra up to my heart chakra, or up to my throat chakra. There's lots of ways and things you can do on the inside. If you want to know more about that, just ask me. I'd be happy to tell you. So I'm going to welcome everybody here this morning. Thanks for coming. We're all over the world, and we're all the way in India. Good morning, all the way over there in India. Adarasha, thank you for coming this morning, and Tony and Susie and Colleen and Sheila and MG. Welcome, everybody. So if you're all set, let's practice together. And the reason why we practice together, I've said this a bunch of times, is that where two or more are gathered, I am there. There's this multiplication thing that happens. The deeper you go into your meditation, the deeper my meditation becomes. The deeper I go into my meditation, the deeper your meditation becomes. We connect with each other across time and space because the ineffable has no location in time and space. It's everywhere at once. And so when we gather together in our practice, even through the lens, we're together in our focus, and we join our spiritual souls across time and space and help each other's meditation. That's why we gather together. Where two or three are gathered, I am there. So thanks for joining me this morning. Hey, Mel and Mel G. Let's begin. I'm going to put on my mask. Like I've said before, I use a mask in order to quiet down the light because normally I meditate in the dark. Got a little rain going on the outside today, so that's going to be a little soothing to my head. But I won't be listening to that, and I'll let those sounds pass right through me. Oh, I should say, if your mind wanders, if you have emotions, you can look at them, but don't attach to them. Let them pass by. Go back to your silence. Go back to your prayer. Always return to your breath. And if your prayer chant falls away and you can just stay inside your breath, good for you. All the better for you. The idea is to quiet the mind and to be in the place of stillness. So I'm going to set my clock. We're going to gather together. It's 20 minutes. It's 10 after the hour. So perfect. And I have my phone is on airplane mode. And there we go. I'll see you in 20 minutes. We got 25 people here. That's a lot of spiritual power. We'll begin with 3 ohms, and then we'll go right into the relaxation and the breath meditation. You can follow my breath if you want to. Here we go. Energizing our practice with 3 ohms. Relax. Belly breaths. Chant your prayer. Come back slowly. Open your eyes. Take a breath. Take your time coming back. May this peace that you found today and your meditation carry throughout your entire day. May it be shared through your actions, through your words, with the people that you meet, online or in person. May it radiate out from within you as deeply as you felt it, and may it get ever deeper inside you. Hello, Lynn. Hi, Belinda. I see you, says Belinda. Hi from Denmark, Marianne. Hello in Denmark. We are India, Europe, Australia, North America. Wow. Use the upward gaze you mentioned yesterday. Really useful. So thanks for bringing that up, Kristen. Have a little bit of my shake there. Wet my whistle. I use this technique. Look at my eyes there, kind of crossed. All right. Aiming up into here. I use that fairly often. When my eyes are closed and I'm focusing on my third eye, I often see my third eye right out here. And if I do this, drive them up with my eyes closed without straining too much, I force that vision, my interior vision, to be in my prefrontal lobe, right up here in my third eye. Bring it right up there. And it's a concentration technique, but it's also a way to drive the third eye, the third eye that I often see right out here in front of me, right up into this spot right up here. And I use that technique fairly often, especially if I'm having difficulty accessing this spot with my mind and my breath. And when I bring my mind and my breath to this spot and I see the third eye out here, I smush them into, by doing this, I drive them into one place. It's a helpful technique, and I thank you for bringing that up. I use it pretty often. MG couldn't seem to get connected to yesterday's Zoom. You weren't doing anything wrong, MG. I was. I opened the wrong Zoom meeting initially. I have two different Zoom meetings that are regular. One's for salon and one's for meditation. And I opened up the salon one by mistake. And oh well, 7 minutes into it, that was pointed out to me, thankfully, and I reopened the correct Zoom meeting. And so sorry about that. Mea culpa, my fault. JT, yes, the eyes will wander if not fixed on a point. Thanks. I'm glad to hear you're not the only one. Yeah, you're not the only one. Um, yeah. So MGU is my trouble, not yours. Hey, thanks for liking the video. I see some of you folks have. If you like the video, Google really likes that. If you subscribe, Google really likes that too. You can share this link with friends. I popped it into the chat. JT brought that up. You can share the link with your friends. Put it on your Facebook page. You can do that with Not Church as well, if you want to share that. There's no pressure. And I thank everybody for all the support that you've given that makes Not Church possible and makes the Centering Prayer Practice possible. Your financial support goes a long way into keeping this running. It is, if I had a trust fund, I wouldn't need to ask, but I appreciate your support. It's very helpful. Namaste to you, Susan Miller. Hello, and namaste to you too. All right, my friends, we've been here 35 minutes. I try to keep it to 30 minutes if we can. Peace to you all. I'll see you soon. Today is Wednesday. See you on Sunday for Not Church. Keep your practice going. The more you practice, the more you find where your soul is, and you don't have to be a thirsty fish or a musk-deer seeking your own fragrance, or a pilgrim wandering from spiritual city to spiritual city, Calcutta to Tibet. This is right inside you all the time. It's always with you. And all we need to do is still our minds and be present to it. That's the super secret. It's right here, right now, every day. Also, check out Peter's website and book a session. Thanks, JT. Yeah, peterpanagore.love. Opportunity to have a private conversation with me, spiritual conversation. I talk a lot about lots of subjects with people. Yesterday, talked about agoraphobia with a fella and suicidality with a woman. And so we cover the gamut: spirituality, mysticism, near-death experience, grief. I do pastoral counseling and spiritual conversation. Uh, I use the energy, the soul, my spirit, my connection with the divine to listen intently and to share the light directly. And that's what we do here. We share the light directly with each other in our meditation. That's why we gather, because we magnify the presence of the light. And I bring that same light, that same presence to the conversations. And thanks, JT, for bringing that up. You're a mensch. Yiddish for a good fella. After a stressed out office day over there in India, a session with fresh air, peaceful. Thanks, Peter. Namaste. Namaste to you, to Adarasha over there in India. I'm super glad you can meditate in the morning. You can meditate at night. Meditation is not restricted to a particular time in the day. And I'm so glad that you're able to join us uh, from across the world over there. Must be 10,000 miles from here. Big love to everybody here and beyond, says Belinda. Thanks, Peter. Awesome message today and focus today. Great. The more you practice, the greater your capacity for focus. You're a mensch. You are. All right, my friends. Deanna, hello, peace and love, everybody. Much love to everybody. You too, Colleen. I'm gonna say fairly well. I have a session coming up in a couple of minutes, and I've got to get my setup for that. So peace and love to you all. See you soon. This community, this not church, this tribe of people, seekers, the one who seeks, the one you seek seeks you, said Rumi. Keep on seeking, my friends. See you soon. Peace and love. Namaste.